Good afternoon, students. Already we have discussed about various types of excipients like your diluents. So today we will discuss about some other types of excipients like binders or binding agent. So what is this binders? What is the use of this binder in our tablet formulation? Generally, when we are handling different types of what we can tell ingredients, we are mixing it and we are going to compress it to form a tablet. So in this thing, what will happen? Sometimes the powders what we are taking is not able to compress properly. So to increase the cohesiveness between the powders, we are using different types of binding agents or binders. So in this, by using the binders, we can increase cohesiveness between the powder particles and we can form granules also and we can easily compress it. So let us discuss about different objective of these binders. So generally there are different types of objective. The first one will be your it will impact cohesiveness of the particles. Second one, it will improve flow property of the powders, because in the tablet formulation we need to put the granules or powders in a hopper and it should flow to the dye and it should be compressed there by means of ponds. So for that it should be flow properly so that there will be no weight variation of the drugs. The dye should be filled well. So there should be good flow property of the powders. So that's why we need to enhance flow property, also to increase cohesiveness between the particles. So that is the main use of these binding solutions or your binders. So but with this, in different types, different methods we can use to use these binding agents. So that's why there are different types of characteristics of the binding solutions or binders. We can use it by adding directly powder in the drug and other substances. Also we can use it by using solutions. Also we can use it in the form of powder and then we can moisten it. We can add different types of solvent to give moisture to the powders. So that's why there are different types of characteristics there. So from this, let us discuss about there are three methods of incorporation of these binding solutions. The first one, method 1, in which first the binders are added in the dry form, then it is solvated. That means we are adding one solvent in that to moisten that powder. Then we have to make a wet mass. That is method 1. That means we are adding the binders in the dry powder form. Then we are adding one solvent to moisturize the powders or moisturize the different ingredients we are taking. Second method, that is method 2. In this method, direct binder solution is added. That means we need to prepare one binder solution. By taking the binding agent, we need to prepare one solution and that solution we need to add in that. Then by adding, then we have to prepare wet mass, then we have to prepare the granules, then the other steps we can go for it. But with this, directly we are using binding solution in the method 2. Let us come to the method 3. In this, we don't need to go for any type of solvents. Simply, we have to add in the powder form. So for the different types of binders there, which we can use, like your microcrystalline cellulose, we can use PVP, polyvinyl pyrrolidine. the different types of binding agents which we can use directly in the powder, and that powder we can directly compress it. We can tell this type of binders we are using for the direct compressible tablets. So these are the three methods in which by these techniques we are incorporating the binders. Now let us go for the different types of binders we are using. First one we are using, it is a popular starch paste. That means already we have discussed about starch in the dilutes, the different types of starches there. But to prepare the paste, we are taking cornstarch. We are taking cornstarch, and that cornstarch we are taking in a percentage range of 10 to 20% range as per our requirements, and that we are preparing a paste. So that paste, how to prepare? Generally there is a process there how to prepare these starch paste. Generally in the cold water we need to add the starch, then we have to warm it, we have to heat it, and slowly we have to stir it to get a viscous liquid. That we are taking a paste. Then that paste we need to add in the tablet powders to get a wet mass and to get a different granules. So you remember the concentration, we are using 10 to 20% of starch paste as per our requirement for different formulations. Then coming to another binder, liquid glucose. Liquid glucose means is a glucose solution. Generally this is a solution in which we are adding glucose, and in this we are adding, generally the concentration will be 50%. Generally 50% concentration of glucose we are taking as a binder solution. Then next to sucrose. Sucrose solution. So the sucrose solution generally we are taking in a concentration range of 50 to 74%. 50 to 74% sucrose we are adding in the water to get a solution, but the granules prepared by this sucrose solution will give a hard granules, very hard, and it is a brittle. Brittle means we can break it easily. Very good. So that's why nowadays very rarely use this type of solutions like sucrose solution or liquid glucose. Next one, gelatin. So generally gelatin is used to prepare capsules, that already you know, but gelatin also sometimes we are using as binding solution, as binder, and in a concentration range of 10 to 20% we are preparing a gelatin solution. But always remember, whenever we are using the gelatin solution, it should be fresh and it should be warm. That means it is not in the form of cold gelatin solution, it should be in the form of warm. Otherwise the formulation will become hard and we cannot able to compress it. The granules won't form. Next one, cellulosic solutions. So different types of cellulose solutions we are using. Cellulose solution means it may be your we can tell HPMC, that is a different types of polymer. HPMC, hydroxy propyl methyl cellulose, HPMC, or we are taking MC, or we are taking PVP, polyphenol pyrrolidine. MC means it's your we can tell methyl cellulose. But while preparing these solutions, solutions, we need to see the solubility. Because we need to prepare a solution, that means we should use a solvent where this should be mixed properly, should be solubilized properly. For example, HPMC having both water solubility and alcohol solubility. So we can use it in the both. But water we are giving preference as it is easily available. And MC, it is also, we can use it a water soluble polymer. PVP also, it's soluble in both alcohol and it's also in water. So that's why both solvents we can use as per our requirements. As per requirement means sometimes drugs are sensitive to water. In these cases we need to use alcoholic solutions. So in these cases we need alcoholic solution to prepare the granules. And some are heat sensitive. Heat sensitive means we need to, if you are using water, we compulsorily need to dry it properly. If it is alcohol, it can be evaporate easily, it can vaporize easily, and we can get the granules by less heat. So that's why these are the different types of examples we can tell by which we can prepare different types of granules and by using different types of binding agents, what I told in the examples. Getting it? So now let us go for some other ingredients we are using in the tablets. Lubricants. So generally, lubricants we are using to lubricate the powders so that the tablets won't stick on the wall of the dye and tablet will not be stick on the punch and it should eject easily from the dye. That's why we are using lubricant. That means it should be like a oily substances. It should have some hydrophobic property so that it won't stick on the surfaces. The tablet won't stick on the surfaces. That the different types of, let us discuss about what is the objective, what is the main objective of these lubricants. And the lubricant are correlated with some other ingredients that we are using in the tablet formulation, other excipients like anti-adherents, your glidants. The different types of substances they are like glidants, anti-adherents. So these lubricants, these are all three are maybe of same substance, but uses will be different. Having same type of nature, but use will be different. So let us discuss about what is the main objective. The first one, it prevents adhesion. It prevents adhesion in the dye wall and punch. The first objective is to prevent adhesion in the dye wall and punch. Second one, it reduces interparticle spaces, interparticle friction. It reduces interparticle friction. Third one, it facilitates ejection. It facilitates ejection from the dye wall. So like that different, this is the main objective of the lubricating agents. We can prevent adhesion of this tablet in the dye wall. Later on you will know, I will show you what is the dye, what is the punch. and how the tablet are compressed. So with this, by using this one, we can prevent the sticking of these tablets or tablet particles inside the die wall and ponds, and also it will prevent interparticle friction, and also the tablet can be ejected easily. Tablet can be ejected properly from the die cavity, so that there will be no double compression of tablets, or we can prevent different types of other parameters. So in this, later on we will discuss about some other activities, different examples, and what is glide and other things we will discuss in the next class.